Hello everyone, Single Mom, Single Budget here, and I'm coming back with the second installment for how to buy a house as a single mom. This lesson focuses on your credit score, aka the FICO score. It's defined as your capacity to repay a loan. Simple as that. It ranges from 300 being very poor or 350 to 850 being excellent credit. There are 5 main components of a credit score. Before I get to those 5 components, I just want to let you know your credit score does not define your worth. You are human, you err, you make mistakes. It does not matter. It only matters in business when you are asking someone for large amounts of money. They need to know that you are going to pay it back, and it has to make sense for them. So, the 5 components of a credit score includes 35% is your payment history. Do you make your payments on time? As simple as that. Be careful. If you're missing payments, that will drop your score really fast and really far. 30% is your credit utilization. That's simply how much of the available credit you're using. It's a bad sign if you're maxing out your credit card every single month. It shows lenders that you have issues with budgeting, or you have issues with money in general, meaning you don't have any money. So you're a risk, and a lot of people don't want to lend money to someone who can't pay it back. 15% is the length of your credit history. That just comes with time, unless you want to sneak around that. It is just becoming an authorized user on someone else's good credit card. Be careful with that, because some people may have good credit today and bad credit tomorrow. So you don't want to be added as an authorized user with someone who's a little flip-floppy with their credit history. The good thing about that is you immediately get that good credit history from them when you become an authorized user. You don't have to have a card whatsoever. They just need to add you on their card, and you inherit their good credit. And if you want to be taken off next month, you will lose that credit. So that's a great way to kind of buffer or boost your score. 10% is made up of the credit mix. You have a car note, mortgage, student loans, a personal line of credit, financing, the mixture of credit. It shows that you're able to juggle multiple forms of credit and pay it back effectively. And 10% is new credit, those inquiries that some people rack up. The more inquiries you have, the lower your score is. So you don't want to inquire a lot. That's just basically going door to door begging for credit or money. Like, hey, I need more money. Help, help, help. And that's it's a red flag for lenders. And that is the 5 components of the FICO score. So, payment history, credit card utilization, the length of history, the mix, and the new inquiries that you may rack up. A few tips for you single moms out there, or anybody looking to buy a home in the new year. That includes keeping your credit card utilization below 10%. I know the gold standard is 30%, but if you want that excellent credit, you want to be below 10%. So that means if you have a $300 limit, you only want to spend $30. So on, if you have a $3,000 limit, you only want to spend $300. A rule of thumb that I tell people, or try to follow myself, is to use it for things that you have cash for. So groceries, gas, things that you're going to pay regardless if you have a credit card or not. So you would use your credit card to pay for gas, and then you would take your cash and pay off your credit card. So it shows that you're responsibly using credit, but you're not overextending yourself, if that makes sense. Pay on time. Do not be late. Period. Decrease your debt. Debt utilization is 30% of your credit score. So that is very important. So you want to, if possible, decrease your debt as quickly as possible. And the best way I know of is the Debt Snowball. The Debt Snowball is pretty simple. So pause this video, get a piece of paper and a pen, and then come back. Okay, so I'm assuming you have your paper and your pen. You want to think about all of the debt that you have. If you have to go online to look up some accounts, do that. Number on your paper, 1 through how many debts you have. Put the balance of the debt. We're going to be very simple about this debt snowball initially. Put the amount of debt you have, the balance, the minimum payment, those 2 aspects on a piece of paper. And then you're going to look at your paper and reorder it in the lowest debt to the highest debt. Lowest debt, number 1, and so on and so on and so on. So the way the debt snowball works is that your minimum payment becomes a snowball. Once the first debt is paid off, you snowball that minimum payment into the next lowest debt. So as you snowball your minimum payments, it gets bigger and bigger until you're able to pay off your highest debt more quickly than you normally would with the minimum payment. So for example, you have 3 credit cards, Macy's, Walmart, and Discover. Macy's is $500, Walmart is $200, Discover is $1,000. You would number your paper with Walmart being number 1 at $200, minimum payment $25. Macy's will be number 2, balance is $500, minimum is $25. Discover will be number 3, your balance is $1,000 and your minimum payment is $100. The way the debt snowball will work in this scenario is you would focus all of your attention on paying off Walmart. All of your excess money will go towards Walmart. Your minimum payment is $25. You would keep paying and paying and paying until Walmart is done. Once Walmart is done, you don't have $25 for free. You snowball that $25 into the next line of debt. That would be your Macy's card at $500. So that minimum payment for Macy's is $25 plus the $25 from Walmart. Now you have a $50 minimum payment that you can pay off Macy's with. Now you're paying it off more quickly than you normally would. Once Macy's is done, you now have $50 to snowball into your next debt payment, which would be Discover at $100. Now, instead of paying $100 on Discover, you're paying $150 towards that debt, and it would get paid off quickly. Now, the way the debt snowball works, it can be enhanced more quickly by adding additional money to your debt snowball. So for instance, if you cut a bunch of expenses like we talked about in the first video, and you find that you have $50 to $100 free, you can now add that to your debt snowball. So the original debt snowball was Walmart, Macy's, and Discover. Now, you have an additional $100 to put towards your debt snowball. So instead of paying $25 towards Walmart every month, you're paying $125 until it's paid off. That would take 2 months. Once it's paid off, you roll that $125 into the next, which would be Macy's. Now, you have $25 minimum payment for Macy's and $125 from Walmart. Now, that's $150 to pay off $500 balance. And you roll that over into the 100. Now you have a $250 minimum payment to pay off the $1,000 budget. It will take you less time to pay it off. So that's how the debt snowball works. And I suggest you look into that further. Other videos, they have clear explanations and online. My last tip. So we talked about paying down our debt, keeping our minimums, our credit card minimums below 10%. Do not borrow any more money. Once you think that you're going to buy a house, stop inquiring inquiries. Don't ask anyone for a line of credit anywhere, okay? You're done until you get your keys. There is the actual credit score, which one is best. I believe for the basic FHA, you're looking at about a 680 or better to put you in a good spot. Some of them go down as low as 580, but you don't want to be in that range because they start asking for cash reserves and it becomes very annoying. So the goal is the higher credit score, the better. If you follow these good practices, your credit score will increase naturally over time. And research more. Just know, pay your bills on time, don't max out your cards, and don't inquire any new lines of credit, and you'll be in a good spot. Another caveat or a tip: if you do not have a credit card and you can't get a credit card due to your credit being so poor, invest in a secured credit card. I initially did that myself because no one would give me credit. I was so young. I didn't have a job, whatever. This was a few years back. I invested in a secured Credit One card. The limit was $200, and I just had to pay $49. So the idea behind a secured card is you secure the line of credit with a cash deposit. So they'll give you a credit card with most likely a $200 to $400 minimum, and you'll pay anywhere from $50 to $200 for that line of credit. And your good behavior with that credit card, the good habits, will then help increase your line of credit and give you a good credit history of on-time payments and credit card utilization. That's how that can boost your score up as well. And look into freeannualcreditreport.com. We all get 3 free credit reports every single year. Don't use them all at the same time. My best suggestion would be every 4 months, look at your credit. Check each line, look for errors, dispute any errors, and you'll be in a good spot. Last but not least, whatever you do, do not go to a credit repair company until you get your budgeting together, because they can't help poor habits. All you can do is delete some inquiries, delete whatever. You'll have good credit for maybe 6 months to a year, and then your poor habits will put you back in that same spot. Now you've wasted a bunch of money on a credit repair company, and you still have poor credit a year later. Get your mindset correct. Increase these positive money behaviors, and you'll be fine. Now, if you have your mindset clear and ready to have great credit and to buy a house, and you're exhibiting good habits around credit and money making decisions, then, and you still want a little boost, I would suggest then going to a credit repair company. But initially, that should not be your first stop. A lot of these credit repair companies are just sales agents, and they're looking for a sale. And they prey on your emotional response to wanting a home, taking care of your family, being secure, but they don't look at the individual as in totality and wholeness. A lot of times your poor credit can be backtracked to poor money habits. And if you can't fix those money habits, you're always going to have poor credit. I don't care what the credit repair company can do for you in the short term. Long term, it's going to come back and bite you in the behind. And I want you to save your money. So, that was a lot. Thank you for watching this video. And remember, you are not your credit score. You can fix it. You're good. You'll get that house. Don't be fearful. Thanks for watching.